So these are Gurkha pants, one of the most distinctive pieces in classic formal menswear, often seen on the streets of cities like Milan. But a few hundred years ago, the same pants were worn by elite soldiers battling through the dense jungle of Nepal. And they were designed specifically for prolonged combat, as they provided superior mobility and functionality. So today I want to deep dive into the fascinating history to uncover how they evolved from a military essential to become a piece of sophistication in formal menswear. But more specifically, I want to understand how the double buckle design made them perfect for jungle warfare, but also understand how this design features helped them to bypass the typical military surplus crowd, like rappers, punks, skaters, and how they ended up in high-end formal fashion. So let's go! So the Gurkha pants take their name from the warriors of the Gurkha kingdom, a confederation of states that once thrived at the intersection of the Himalayas and the Indian subcontinent. And the kingdom, which became modern-day Nepal, was known for its fierce and highly skilled warriors, the Gurkhas. You know, those with the cool knives. And part of their uniform, these distinctive high-waisted pants with their unique double buckle system. But this wasn't just a stylistic choice, it had practical purpose. You see, the adjustable waistband was perfect for jungle warfare, where soldiers face extreme weight fluctuations because of scarce food, dehydration, but also relentless heat. Additionally, the combination of a high-waisted pant with pleats allowed for a very roomy and wide leg fit, which then provided superior mobility. So you see, this wasn't just a design choice. For the Gurkha warriors, who were known for their fierce combat skills and their high agility, this was an essential. And the British learned this firsthand during their colonization of the Indies. They observed these skilled warriors to conquer the whole Kathmandu Valley while expanding their kingdom. But it wasn't until the war between the British forces and the Gurkhas that the colonizers truly understood their full strength. Although the British won, it was only due to sheer numbers, but the Gurkha warriors had earned their respect. So much that the British incorporated the Gurkhas into their own army, where Gurkha soldiers went on to fight along the British in major conflicts like World War I and II. And with them, their signature pants also went into the British army and were then introduced to the Western world. But apart from their military use, Gurkha pants never reached fully mainstream popularity. They had a brief moment in the 1980s where vintage military clothing and tailoring had a brief resurgence. One big player in this trend was Banana Republic. You know, before the brand was bought up by The Gap, it was known as Banana Republic Travel and Safari Clothing Company. And it's crazy to imagine, back in the day, Banana Republic was not just another clone of Abercrombie & Fitch. It was all about eccentric tourist items, with more or less true explorer and traveler stories printed along the hand-drawn items. By the way, if you like this kind of stories about fashion history, please subscribe. This really helps me out and has a major impact for small YouTubers like myself. If not, that's fine, let's go back to the story. So after the small time of popularity in the 80s, the trend faded. And today, Gurkha pants are almost exclusively seen in classic formal menswear. A quick Google search will show mostly tailored versions designed for high-end dressing and not adventure or military wear. Now, military clothing crossing over into civilian fashion isn't unusual. Now think for example about the fatigues, military pants that were developed for the war in Vietnam but were then adopted by skaters, hippies and climbers. Or how about the MA1 bomber jacket, once designed for military pilots, then adopted by punks, skinheads and mods, and then going completely mainstream. Or cargo pants, same story. They were initially military equipment, were then adopted by skaters and then crossed over into mainstream fashion. So you see, military clothing usually finds a home first with subcultures, scenes that are all about counter-consumerism and counterculture, before they become a symbol of coolness and then go mainstream. But Gurkha pants, they completely skipped this step. Instead of ending up with skaters or punks or streetwear, they went straight into classic menswear, a niche known for its refined and upper-class aesthetic, while also being, to be honest, kinda tacky. So why did this happen? What made the Gurkha pants take a path so much different to other military clothing? My assumption, it has to do something with the CUMMERBUND. But what exactly is a CUMMERBUND? It's a white sash with pleats that is worn around the waist, usually at black tie events. Funnily, it originates from Indian and Persian soldiers and was later adopted by the British Indian Army. Today, it's commonly seen as part of a tuxedo, a key element in black tie dress codes. So if you're someone who knows how to wear a CUMMERBUND, or more specifically, you are someone who appreciates its aesthetic, it makes sense that you are naturally drawn to the looks of the Gurkha pants, because their double buckle waistband creates a very similar high-waisted silhouette and look. While this detail might feel out of place in today's everyday wear, it might feel familiar and refined to those who appreciate a CUMMERBUND. This visual similarity and connection might then explain why the Gurkha pants found a home in this fashion niche, rather than being picked up by subcultures that usually enjoy military surplus. And still, even within this fashion niche, Gurkha pants still remain relatively unknown, aside from some knowledgeable YouTubers and blog writers who occasionally bring those pants into the spotlight. But if you do a quick Google search, you'll find a surprising variety of options, with widely different material choices ranging from classic cotton twill to high-end wool blends. That said, if you ask me, I prefer the classic military Gurkha pants over the formal tailored versions of today. And if you're looking to get a pair, here are some recommendations. Bronson MFG is a really solid one. This is a brand that does solid, reasonably priced reproductions of vintage military clothing. Also a notable mention, Gurkha shorts, basically the short version of the same pants. Another option for military Gurkha pants are What Price Glory. They also do military reproductions. Ethan Wong has a really nice write-up about their shorts and how he brought his pair to a tailor and had them shortened to his ideal length. And if you're shitting cash, buy these ones by the Observer collection. These are $400, but I think they bridge the aesthetic between military reproduction and modern pants really well. These are $400, but I think they bridge the aesthetic between military reproduction and modern pants really well. So what do you think? Are Gurkha pants a really cool alternative to your khakis, fatigues, or usual dress pants? Or is it just another one of those really tacky suit trends? Let me know in the comments. Until then, check out one of my other videos.